In August, I want to be as competitive as possible in the La Luz Trail Run. This is a 9-mile run, which consists of 1.8 miles of paved road and 7.2 miles of dirt with a 12% grade. It starts in the foothills of the Sandia Mountains in Albuquerque, and she spelled it correctly, and finishes at an altitude of almost 11,000 feet, which is over 4,000 of elevation gain. Here's the thing. Currently, I'm not engaged in a running program, although I was running consistently about 2 years ago, never longer than 3 miles. I stopped running because it was killing my knees and because I really developed an affinity for strength training. And that killing my knees thing is the issue. Erica, the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is maybe hire yourself a local high school track coach and pay them, and they'll love you for it. Get a $100 bill and go, here, will you help me? And have someone look at your running technique. If this is killing your knees, there's a couple things. The way shoes have been made in the last 30, 40 years, with all the cushion on shoes, very often people are literally jamming into every run. You should be running over your feet, not into your feet on the ground. And might be something as simple as the A and the A skip drills that might help you. It could be technical. And before I even want you to even think about training for it, get your technique looked at. And it's an interesting thing. Most people will take swimming lessons in their life. Very few people will take running lessons. I've taken running lessons. We did a program back here in the 80s. Whatever what happened to that guy. He was really a good coach. And when you start practicing running correctly, amazing things happen. A, you get much faster, and B, it stops hurting so much. So the first thing I want to recommend to you is give a high school coach a $100 bill and say, will you help me? For one thing, the high school coach will pass out and you'll have to revive them. And the second thing is you might find out your technique has issues. Moving on to the question. I work out 6 days a week at this awesome gym with an owner who cites you as a mentor. And it's Slade Jones. You make sure you give Slade my best. That's really nice. Slade has come here to the Institute and trained with me a few times, and he's a good and decent man. We do a lot of carries, different types of squatting and deadlifts, kettlebell work, etc. As for cardio, we do a lot of interval work and sprint type stuff, but I haven't really pushed myself beyond a couple of miles in at least a year. I'm 34 if that's relevant. Any advice, training tips, or words of wisdom would be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for your podcast. Your expertise is invaluable. Well, there's some competing points here. A, you want to be competitive as possible in this race, but running kills your knees. To me, I see those two things as kind of bouncing into each other a little bit. Having said that, I always support performance goals. I'm wondering if running up this race might not be a problem for you, but running down after is going to kill your wheels. Because remember that we have a marathon here every year called the Deseret News Marathon, and it often is cited as one of the most difficult marathons in the world. And the reason is completely counterintuitive if you don't know anything about running. The reason it's so tough is that the first 10 miles are downhill. And what happens is when people get to the flat, they notice very often that their legs are gone because of those constant isometric hits of running downhill. It's really hard on the quads, and for many people, it's really hard on the knees. So Erica, I support you 100% on this thing, but first off, let's get your technique looked at. Number two, let's have you maybe walk this thing one time and get a sense of just do the walk. It'll take you, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 hours, whatever. Just walk this race and get a sense of things, and then maybe get back to me. But let's look at your technique first. Let's have you walk the race, and then obviously you're going to have to run to get ready to be as competitive as possible. But at your age, which is 34, I don't want you beating those knees up so that when you're 44, all you do is regret this decision.